Hi, welcome back to Live and Breathe Horses at Centre Equestre La Luce. So today I want to talk to you about the danger of bitless and barefoot. Or really it's the potential danger of that. And it's not that those things in themselves are dangerous, it's our possible delusional state around them that can cause problems. So, I mean, of course, we all want the best for our horse. That's the number one thing. We want our horse to be healthy and happy and live in as much of a natural environment that's healthy for him as we possibly can. So it's a very attractive idea to have him bitless and barefoot because it sounds much more natural. And as long as we're aware about it, it's not dangerous. But it's so important just to take each individual horse each time through our journey. It's always different and changing. So to start with the bitless thing, the number one point, of course, is it's not about the thing we're using. It's about the hands behind it. And deeper than that, it's about the feel in our heart, our intention that we're putting in. You know, what energy, what are we projecting and bringing to that situation, to the horse on that moment? This is what can affect it way more than what we're using. You know, I always like to say it's not what you do, it's the way that you do it. And this is really a case of that. You know, I had a horse once who was extremely sensitive all around his face and his nose. He hated anything over his nose, you know, even a noseband. So for him, a simple snaffle was by way the best thing to use. And it's just to be careful if you are going bitless, what you're using with your horse, because some of the bitless bridles they sell really clamp the jaw shut. Which doesn't allow the horse to express his discomfort. And some of them, you know, when you release the hand, they don't release automatically. They don't slide through. So sometimes a simple stable halter can almost be a good solution if you want to go bitless. And that's what I do with mine. You know, it's a tricky thing. It's just to see on the moment what's working best. But just to keep that in mind, you know, it's the hands. And of course, the jaw of the horse, you know, for the jaw to be mobile is very important. Some horses have naturally very mobile jaws and other horses get very blocked. So with a bit, if we can ask them just to flex the jaw and release, it can really help the horse to relax. So yeah, you know, there's different opinions, but I really believe, number one, it's about the hands that hold the reins more than what's on the other end of the reins, and the individual horse, the individual situation. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is the back, because this is affected a lot by the bitless thing and the barefoot thing. So as I spoke about, if the horse's jaw is clamped shut and not mobile, I mean, if you just clamp your jaw tight, you know, with tension, your whole back, you feel that going all the way down your whole spine, that tension. So when we do that to our horse and his back is tight, you know, his whole body gets tight, his movements get abrupt. So if we were going to then ride him like that, it's harder to sit and move with him. If he's not in flow, it's hard for us to be in flow. And that can really cause pain in the horse's back. And that can often not be identified correctly. People think it's about the back or the saddle, but very often it's coming from the jaw. And I'm fascinated by this. So whenever I'm working somewhere or someone's here who's some kind of therapist, osteopath, cranial work with horses, I always discuss this with them, and always it comes back to the same conclusion. So the other side of the back thing is with the feet. If the horse is tender and sore on his feet and he's walking along going, ouch, 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 then this is going to have a big effect into his back. And, you know, you'll be all tight. You know yourself when you've got a sore foot and you walk funny, then you get aches somewhere else. So again, it's what I spoke about. It can show up in the back and not necessarily be about that. And I think the barefoot thing, again, it's common sense. So if we ride our horses in completely lovely natural places where they would naturally live, of course, it also depends on the shape of the horse's foot, then we would never need shoes. None of mine have shoes at the moment, but one of mine is very, very sensitive in every way. And when we were doing more riding out, you know, it's very hard and rocky here, and you would get so sensitive on his feet, even when they weren't worn down, that, you know, especially coming downhill, I just always got off and walked. And for him, when he got shod, you know, of course, you need a good farrier, appropriate kind of shoes, and you really need to know how to align it all up well so the horse stays comfortable. But for him, he was so joyful with his shoes. He was literally bouncing along instead of having sore feet. So it's, you know, it's about how much we're doing with them, where we're riding, even in an arena. You know, the sand can be like sandpaper and wear the feet down. And of course, technology is more and more advancing with all kinds of boots we can put on temporarily and take off. So as they go improving, we have other solutions. So this is great. You know, things are always getting better and improving for the horse's sake and for our own peace of mind. I guess that's all linked. So yes, I'd love to hear your ideas and opinions on this. And yes, so it's just to be very aware of what's going on with the horse and not to assume that barefoot and bitless is always better for every horse and rider in every situation, you know, and not to be judgmental about it. We all find our way, do the best we can for our horse on that moment. So thank you. I'd love to hear from you any comments or experiences you have about this. And we'll see you next time. Keep tuning into the light.